The day is finally here, preparation completed and characters ready. It's time to board that ship or zeppelin and head off to Northrend once again. My name is WillE. Join me today as we check out a few ways you can get started in Wrath Classic. Speaking of boarding ships or zeppelins, that's going to be the first thing that everybody does one of. In Wrath, there are two separate zones that you can begin questing on your journey to 80. First up, the Borean Tundra. For the Alliance, there is a new ship that docks on the far north of the also new Stormwind Harbour that will take you directly to Valiant's Keep. For the Horde, there will be a new Zeppelin tower just on the west of the entrance to Orgrimmar that will land you in
Manifold Harbour takes you to Howling
Tundra
after.
itself is a great start to the expansion with tons of quests, a new set of dungeons in Caldara, and plenty of introductions to new races such as the Taunka or the Tuskar. Your other choice to make would be to go to the Howling Fjord, way over on the opposite side of Northrend. To get there, Alliance have to take a ride from the northernmost dock in Menethil Harbour, whilst Horde take a zeppelin from the westernmost tower outside of the Undercity. Howling Fjord is most known for its huge central building in Utgard, as well as an introduction
that was supposed to be a raid, by the
Vrykul.
way.
As for me, I'll definitely be going Howling Fjord. You just can't.
I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do. I've always done Borean Tundra, but yeah, we could try the other one. Okay.
Beat that boat ride in as a start to the expansion. Progressing through the levels, you'll eventually need to start thinking about flying. Certain zones, mainly the Storm Peaks, require it to really be able to get across the mountainous landscape. Cold weather flying is bought at Dalaran for a one-time cost of 1,000 gold, which might sound like a fairly hefty sum, but your questing journey is already going to be covering quite a good portion of that fee.
It won't be a problem at all.
If gold is still tight though, you're not stuck on the ability to progress content. Over in the Storm Peaks at K3 is Honest Max, who will straight up give you a free loaned mount, though it is only usable in Sholazar Basin, the Storm Peaks, and Ice Crown.
What the fuck?
Free mount, better than nothing. Also,
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
if you're keen on leveling alts early on, the same NPC that teaches you cold weather flying also sells an account-bound tome to teach that skill to alts at level 68 or above, so the questing will go even faster the second time around.
Wow.
As you are questing, you'll also be working on various reputations. At friendly with a number of Northrend factions, you'll be able
I'm not going to worry about any of these bullshit reputations, man. Like, I'm just going to get one of the tabards, put it on until I'm exalted, and then I'll do the other one. I'm not going to worry about any of that bullshit. Like, we go straight, we do all the dungeons, we beat all the dungeons, we get all the loot, that's it, no problem. Easy.
To buy a tabard that will cause you to make advances
you can't get
with
the
that reputation when in
tabard.
dungeons. You'll likely have reached friendly just by having quested a bit in each zone, but it's important to remember to pick up the tabard when you can. Each faction, of course, has its own number of rewards for professions, toys, mounts, enchants, and so on. Similar to the Burning Crusade, Revered will be needed to buy various head enchants, such as the Arcanum of Blissful Mending from the Wormrest Accord, or the Arcanum of Torment from the Knights of the Ebon Blade. The Sons of Hodir are where you will find the best shoulder enchants. This faction will be met when questing in the Storm Peaks, and you'll have to work your way up with them through dailies or from turning in Relics of Ulduar, which can be farmed in the Storm Peaks dungeons, but you're going to need a lot of them, and you should expect them to be expensive early on. Each reputation...
Guys, I'm going to be needing a lot of those, so like if you get any of these, listen, I will need them. Just want to let you know, I do need these. Also, there are crystals that are out in the Storm Peaks, and if you find one, you can get it and turn it in for reputation for Sons of Hodir as well.
Has more rewards than we can go over here, so do check up on them to see what fits your playstyle best, but just know there's something to work on. Much like the Burning Crusade, Wrath the Lich King will also have heroic dungeons. 12 will be available at launch, with 4 more coming in later content patches. These will be your go-to activity to start building up your character at a level cap, not only awarding epic quality items, but also emblems of heroism that can be...
The thing is, like, the raids aren't going to come out for over a week. There's no reason for you to fucking... to no-life it. I'm just going to go and do... There's 4 idiot. I was joking. I know. The thing is, like, there's no reason to, like, poop sock it and go super hard. I'm not going to worry about it at all. I'm going to get to level 80. I'm going to do the heroics. I'm going to start leveling up my Death Knight, and I'll be fine.
And in at Dalaran for a variety of powerful items.
Yeah,
Emblems
take it
are
easy.
a good filler for those moments where the item you're after just isn't dropping, but you can always buy something from a vendor or certain eventually.
That
you
fucking
can also
trinket was
spend
really good.
emblems
I used to
on
have that.
PvP gear too, or even heirlooms later on when you have more of them than you know what to do with. On top of the loot and emblems, heroic dungeons have a bunch of toys and mounts too for collection enthusiasts. A few of the more memorable ones are the bronze drake from the culling of Strathel. This is awarded as a guaranteed drop from an extra boss upon having completed a timed run. And I use the word timed very lightly here. It's a pretty generous timer, I'll say that much. Other more randomized...
I remember whenever I got it, I was embarrassed that I didn't have it. Like, if I can get it by the first week, I might ride it around a little bit. But I don't even know, like, I think that I just want to get Ashes of Alar. That's the mount that I want to get. I don't care about any of the Proto-Drakes. If I get one, I get one. Who cares? Yeah, I just want to get Ashes of Alar.
Items are the blue Proto-Drake, which drops from Skadi the Ruthless, the first boss in Utgard Pinnacle, or the Super Simian Sphere, which, okay, it can drop from just about anything in Northrend, but I'll always remember seeing one drop in the Nexus during Original Wrath. And no,
bro, I farmed the fuck out of that. It took me forever to get this.
I didn't win it. As with any expansion, getting your professions up to speed will be worth considering early on, and for Wrath Classic, every profession gains unique benefits. Tailors can upgrade their cloaks with embroideries, jewel crafters have access to special gems which provide way more stats than normal, blacksmiths can add extra sockets to their gear, and engineers can, among other things, make their own mailbox, fire rockets out their hands, teleport across Northrend with a wormhole machine, get nitro boosts, and loads more. Engineering is rather good this expansion.
It's the best.
Gathering will be super important early on too.
Engineering is the best profession in the game in all expansions. It's just the best. That's all there is to it.
Other professions need those ore and herbs to come from somewhere, and doing laps of endgame zones is going to be some easy and reliable gold throughout the expansion, but this will be especially true at the start. Raiding content is one of the things I'm most looking forwards to getting stuck into. However, this time around there will be a little wait until they are open. Tier 7, including the Vault of Archivon, Sartharian's Lair, Eye of Eternity, and a revamped Naxxramas will be open on October 6th globally. That's a solid week and a half from launch, meaning there's less of that feeling that you need to rush and you might be missing a reset. And during that...
October 6th. Let me see what day that is. That's next Thursday. Okay, so it's not even like it's on Tuesday. It's next Thursday. That's quite a while.
A week and a half, there's already plenty to do at a level cap. For PvPers, Wrath Classic will launch with a bunch of content to offer as well. Similar to raiding, there will be a grace period before Arena Season 5 begins, which will happen on the reset after launch, so October 4 for North America and 5th for Europe.
Yeah, it gives people plenty of time.
On day 1 will be a new battleground in Strand of the Ancients, the battle for Wintergrasp, as well as open world PvP. For more information on everything that's changed in the world of PvP, check out the dedicated video in the description below. And finally, achievements are in the game, and for some people that will be the real end game. There are tons.
Imagine farming achievements. Bro, like, I would do the achievements if they were fun. But the thing is, like, I only want to complete all of them or nothing. Yeah, it's just, that's nerd shit, man. Like, absolute nerd shit. Like, doing it again. It's nerd. It's because the reason why is that I already did it. Like, if I hadn't done it, I'd probably try to get them all. But if I already did it before, I'm at 6K points. Bro, I'm at 36K in retail WoW.
Of them, but some of them may be a little more interesting to complete sooner rather than later. Higher learning has you go on a buck hunt around Dalaran, eventually rewarding a companion pet. And whilst Dalaran is going to be incredibly busy early on, I think most people will only be there for a short period of time before going back out to level, so it may be a good time to check some of the spawn locations before more people start thinking about doing it. The Lore Master of Northrend is actually super good for many reasons as well. Okay, it might not be the smallest task to get done right at the start, but it's going to give you so many benefits. Questing after level cap will be earning you bonus gold. You'll be getting reputation towards major factions, which you'll have wanted to do.
Yeah, nobody cares about that shit, alright? You hit level 80, you do the fucking dungeons, you get the loot. You put the tabard on while you do the dungeons, and then you get revered, you buy the shoulder, the helm enchant. You never fucking think about that. You need recipe? No. Somebody else needs a recipe, you need to buy the item. That's it, it's that simple. Yeah, you just do it. You just go in there, just immediately deep dick the heroics. The heroics are gonna be a joke. They're gonna be so easy, man.
Anyway, there's been an update made where certain End of Zone quests will reward emblems of heroism. Those will be good for when you're gearing. And there's a hidden bonus for Lore Masters too, specifically for tailors. You can talk to your trainer in Dalaran to learn how to craft the Death Chill Cloak, which before you hit up raiding content is the best option for many.
Nobody gives a shit about this. Okay? Like, we don't need these. We don't need any loot. Like, just release Nax. I'll go into Nax right now at level 70. Yeah, we go right in there at level 70. I get rid of it. Just immediately get purple gear. Like, I'm not gonna start replacing, you know, like all these Sunwell pieces of gear with blues, man. Some people like professions. Oh, my profession is clearing the raids. All right, that's what I do.
Spellcaster
yeah.
DPS, and you could be the person on your
Straight
server
to Nax,
who has
that's
the
right.
ability to craft that early on. Whether you're planning on raids, arena, or just some gathering and professions, Wrath Classic has a ton to be checking
There's
out.
a lot to do
we
in
hope
Wrath.
you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more Wrath Classic content, and welcome back to Northrend.
Aww. I still think it's so fucking cool that Blizzard paid WillE to do these videos, man. I do. I think that's so badass. Most iconic mounts. Oh boy. I guess maybe I should watch this one. The most iconic items in Wrath.
Wrath of the Lich King really was the rise of the collection enthusiast in World of Warcraft, with a tab to store mounts and companion pets, achievements, and so many more titles. It offered the most ways to flex your character that we have ever seen. Welcome all.
I actually, back in the day, the reason why I started farming for achievements is there was this girl that farmed for achievements in my current guild, and I wasn't in the guild yet at the time. And I saw that she had like over 10,000 achievements or something like that. And I was like, how does she have over 10,000 achievements? She's terrible. Like, how does she have something in the game that I don't have? And that's whenever I started farming achievements, because I didn't want to have somebody like that that had more stuff than I did. That's honestly like one of the big reasons.
My name is WillE. So, Wrath Classic had a lot of cool items and rewards, sure, but which ones stood out the most? What would be the difference between you running past somebody and you having to pause from your game to go and inspect them?
It was 100% invincible. Like, I would get inspected for an invincible. People would compliment me on invincible in, like, Warlords of Draenor. It took years for that mount's, like, value to wear off. It was probably one of the most iconic fucking mounts, man.
Let's get straight into it and check out some of Wrath Classic's most iconic items.
I would get like multiple people every single day messaging me, be like, bro, you got that? Oh my god, you got invincible.
When you think of icons of an expansion, it's easy to default to the big mounts or titles, but often I find myself looking back and remembering the trinkets which made it a memorable experience. Whether that's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, looking at you, Arcana Crystal. For Wrath Classic, there are two in particular which come to mind. One is available right from day one of the expansion, the other towards the end. The first is Darkmoon Card Greatness. For a change, this is an item made...
I have to let you guys know, we need 2 of these, okay? I need 1 and McConnell needs 1. So if you guys get one of these cards, please send them over to me. All right, I will use them. Yeah, they're 100k each. Well, I mean, I just need to just get 1. That's all.
Through the new profession Inscription, instead of being a drop from a raid or a dungeon, you have to assemble the Nobles deck by combining the Ace through 8 of Nobles, which can then be turned in at the Darkmoon Fair next time they are in town. In return, you're offered 1 of 4 trinkets, that each carry a solid amount of main stat and a huge proc on top of
These trinkets were insane.
This trinket remains memorable, as for some classes, you will wear this for a solid portion of the expansion. It's just really hard to replace. On the downside, everybody knows how amazing amazing it is nowadays, so expect the cost of this early into the expansion to set you back a lot of gold.
That's fine,
the other
guys.
trinket I want to talk about comes alongside Icecrown Citadel releasing, and I have to say it is the trinket that most people will remember from Wrath as not only being a best-in-slot item, but one that changes your appearance too. Of course,
I never got Deathbringer's Will. I never got it.
Of course, talking about the Deathbringer's Will is another BIS trinket for PvE, though also widely used in Arena too. Where it stands out is the proc changes your model for the duration. Vrykul gives bonus strength, Iron Dwarf gives armor penetration, Tuskar crit rating, and so on. Expect more or less every single class that does physical damage to be after this trinket when ICC drops. Moving on though, trinkets are cool and all, but you only really get to see them working during combat. What about some memorable weapons from the expansion? You can't talk—
I would say Dislodge Foreign Object was also a pretty memorable trinket, and the Death's Verdict, or I forgot what the Horde one was, the trinket from the Twin Valkyr in Trial of the Crusader. I think those were really big. Let's see, the jar, from Putricide, yeah. Tiny Abomination in a jar. Yeah, I remember Ret Paladins used that a lot. Let's see, what else? Ruby Sanctum, yeah, the little, well, it was equipped on his character. The Armor Pen trinket.
Talk about iconic without talking about legendary weapons. The first one from Ulduar, Valanir, Hammer of the Ancient Kings. This is made through combining fragments obtained by bosses and eventually combined into the weapon itself.
I wonder if they're gonna buff the item level of Valanir too. Because like they were buffing all of the other Ulduar hard mode gear, and Ulduar hard mode gear, I wonder if it's gonna go that high. They should? Yeah, I think they should.
From incredible stats, it has a powerful proc that can add a ton to your overall healing, causing 15% of heals to also provide a shield for affected targets. It does actually have to heal for the proc to go off though, so it's more desirable for certain healers than others. The second legendary has quite a bit more to it to put together, and this one will release alongside Icecrown Citadel, the infamous and very befitting of the legendary name, Shadowmourne.
I think Shadowmourne is harder to get, or sorry, is easier to get than Valanir. I think Valanir is way harder to get.
You could do a whole video solely on the quest to assemble this weapon very easily. To put it briefly though, it involves a long quest chain where you have to complete bonus tests during certain boss encounters, as well as collecting plenty of Shadowfrost shards in between. This weapon's legendary status is fitting for so many reasons. The materials that go into it, the quest journey, and of course the stats and the proc aren't half bad either.
They're ridiculous.
You better believe people are already lining up their class choice right now and have dreams of completing this weapon during the expansion when it was released.
Oh, it's not going to be a dream.
If you thought Glaive Rogues were scary in Arena during TBC, wait until you see what an Arms Warrior can do with a Shadowmourne late game in Wrath. But it's not just the weapon itself which makes this item stand out. After having first assembled Shadowmourne, a new quest will become available called the Lich King's Last Stand. Upon defeating Arthas for the first time with Shadowmourne equipped, a sealed chest will drop, with several tradable unique items including the Tabard of the Lightbringer, Reigns of the Crimson Death Charger, Muradin's Favor, and more. This is truly a legendary quest.
I remember whenever this came out and like guilds were getting mad that like the person that got Shadowmourne would keep all the items in the box and then sell them. I remember that very well.
You can't talk about Wrath and iconic items
instead
and
of giving them to the guild.
Talk about mounts somewhere. And there is one mount, or Drake, I should say, in particular that would have people creating patrol routes, recording respawn and kill times, and setting alarms for the chance to claim this elusive prize for themselves.
Every time I hear about the Time Lost Proto Drake, I think about the Greek God X video of him getting it. Every fucking time. Yeah, GGX, yeah. Oh my god.
Fly high in the Storm Peaks is one of the original open world rare mounts, the Time Lost Proto Drake. Speculation as to its respawn timer, flight patterns, and even sharing a spawn with another Drake, Viragosa, are all quite well known nowadays, heightening the competition for this trophy mount to even greater levels than what we would have seen in Wrath originally. All I can say is if you truly want this in Wrath Classic, best of luck to you. There will also be the chance to obtain legacy mounts as certain meta achievements are reintroduced to the game, such as the Black Proto Drake from Glory of the Raider 25 player. The Drake itself is notable as it has a 310% flight speed.
That's actually one thing that a lot of people might not remember, is that there were only certain mounts in the game that allowed you to ride at 310% speed, and the Black Proto-Drake was one of them.
To this point in the game, the only way to get this was either Ashes of Allah or a Gladiator PvP mount. It's still not exactly easy to do Glory of the Raider 25, but quite a bit more accessible than what you had to do in TBC, I would say. There are also plenty of mounts to be farmed within dungeon or raid content too. There are 2 mounts in particular that collectors are still running the content for to this day.
Well, he forgot about the, so there's the Swift Alliance Steed, and then the Swift Horde Wolf. And those are rewards for completing Trial of the Grand Crusader with Tribute to Insanity with 50 attempts left. So that means that you complete the whole raid without having any wipes. And also there's the 25-man version that requires you to do the same thing, but also not let anybody die. And that gives you the Crusader's White Warhorse for Alliance and the Crusader's Black Warhorse for Horde.
Those are Mimiron's Head, which drops from Yogg-Saron, not Mimiron surprisingly, in Ulduar, when you have no assistance from the Keepers, as well as my personal favourite mount of all time in World of Warcraft, Invincible, who drops from the Lich King himself in Icecrown Citadel. And you may not know, but one of the most iconic pieces of music for Wrath the Lich King is named Invincible, and it's about Arthas mourning his steed's demise. One of the first things that players will chase when we board the boats to Northrend will be the Realm First achievements, though they're not...
I'm not gonna give a fuck about this. Honestly, like you have to plan this out and go for this and like try so hard. I don't give a fuck. Like, I tried to get the Warrior one, and this guy beat me to it at level 80. I think I was like the 2nd or 3rd Warrior to 80 on my server. I was kind of upset about it, but you know, it is what it is.
As visible as having a mount or a title, you better believe people have been optimizing and planning routes for a long time now to get these. Wrath was the first expansion to release this feature and give players something extra for being the first to the finish line. And there were Realm First achievements for all kind of things. Realm First Grandmaster Angler, first to level...
We had a guy in our guild, and he's actually Zach's real life friend, his name's Hayden. And Hayden got the back-to-back Realm First Skinning Champion. He got it in Wrath of the Lich King, and then he got it again in Cataclysm. He got the first Realm First on our server. And like his name popped up. Yeah, the back-to-back Realm First Champion. You get so many whispers, it's cool. Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never gotten a Realm First before.
To level 80 Shaman. If it was something you could be first at getting, there was probably a Realm First achievement for it too. More interestingly will be the Realm First Raid achievements, because these do have titles associated with them.
I don't mind the Realm First leveling achievements, but I do think the Realm First raiding achievements kind of suck. The reason why I think they kind of suck is because whenever you're in a raiding guild, everybody knows this. A raiding guild does not consist of 25 people. It consists of probably 32. Maybe more. Maybe a little bit less. So there's always going to be some people that don't get the achievement because they were on standby. And I just think that sucks.
First group of players to defeat Kel'Thuzad in Naxxramas 25-man will earn Conqueror of Naxxramas. Realm First of Malygos 25 will reward the Magic Seeker. Expect some crazy fast clear times and competition on the larger servers among the more competitive guilds. These achievements are a one-time thing. You know what else is a one-time thing? The chance to subscribe to this channel right...
Before I do that, before he does that, I will say that, so the titles that you get, the Obsidian Slayer is for Sartharion. The Conqueror of Naxxramas is for Naxxramas. Magic Seekers for Malygos. Grand Crusader is for Trial of the Grand Crusader. Big surprise. And then also there is Death's Demise, which is for Realm First Yogg-Saron.
Now for more Wrath Classic content. Now for some...
Starcaller, Conqueror of Ulduar. Celestial Defender. You're right. I forgot all about Celestial Defender is Realm First 25-man Algalon. Yes, Starcaller is from 10-man Algalon. Conqueror of Ulduar is for the Immortal achievement in Ulduar 25-man. Champion of Ulduar is for the achievement for Ulduar in 10-man. Okay? Like, keep this in mind, guys. You can't forget.
thing which is a bit
Herald of the Titans, Herald of the Titans is for completing, I'll go through a few more of them. Let me explain a few. Astral Walker is just for killing Algalon on 25 man. So it doesn't matter realm first, you just get the Astral Walker for killing Algalon on 25 man. Let's see, what was the other one you were asking me about? Fucking Herald of the Titans is for killing Algalon in a 10-man mode with 232 gear in your weapon slot and I think it's 239 gear. No, excuse me, sorry. It's 226 gear for armor slots and then 232 gear for weapon slots, because that was the best gear that was available at the time in Old War. So you need to have like a specific special set. Yeah, it's 226 for armor, 232 for weapons and offhands. And let's see, what are the other ones? That was Herald of the Titans? Yes, that's Herald of the Titans. And what's these other ones? The Undying is for completing Naxxramas 10-man, the entire raid in one run without having anybody die. Immortal is for 25-man without having anybody die. Light of Dawn is for completing 25-man Lich King on Heroic. There's no like deathless achievement, it's just you kill 25-man Lich King on Heroic, you get the Light of Dawn. Argent Defender is for doing tribute to Dedicated Insanity, which is doing the Trial of the Grand Crusader on 10-man with only 242 gear and lower. So it's like Herald of the Titans, but you have to complete the entire thing on your own. And you also, I think, can't wipe on that as well. So it's a very, very hard achievement. It's much harder than Herald of the Titans. I didn't get that. And Kingslayer, Bane, yes, Kingslayer is for just killing the Lich King, period. And Bane of the Fallen King is for 10-man Lich King. Yes, 10-man Heroic. Starcaller, that's 10-man Algalon. Grand Crusader, that's Realm First, Trial of the Crusader. Yep, I know every single one. Nightfall, that's killing the Twilight. Well, the Nightfall is the 10-man version. Of the Nightfall is the 10-man Sartharian 3 Drakes.
Class specific, but it was a unique way to stand out.
How do y'all not know these? Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? How do you guys not know this shit? Like, yeah, what was it? Champion of the Frozen Waste? That's for completing all of the heroic dungeons, and also Nax 10-man, and also Sartharian 10-man, or Sartharian, and also Malagos. Yeah, Twilight Vanquisher is the 25-man version of the Sartharian 3 Drakes. Because we have real jobs? True. Yeah, yeah, how people forget this shit. The Immortal, that's 25-man Nax, without having anybody die the whole run. Testing my knowledge. Apparently, people think they're gonna trick me. The Flawless Victor, that got taken out of the game after the first patch in Wrath of the Lich King. It was for winning 10 games in a row above 2,000 rating. You guys just, man, you guys do your best. But you're not gonna get me. Of the Ashen Verdict, that's for getting exalted with the Ashen Verdict in the ICC achievement and the ICC reputation.
Amongst others, and that's for Hunter's ability to track down and tame the spirit beasts of Northrend. First of all, you had to have talented all the way down into the beast mastery tree and unlock the ability to tame exotic beasts. Now, exotic beasts were all over Azeroth, and they included things like Devilsaur,
Mosh was a motherfucker,
and lots more. But there were 4 spirit beasts in particular from Northrend that players sought out. Those were Arcturus, the spirit bear in the Grizzly Hills, Gondria, the spirit tiger in Zuldrak, Skoll, the spirit wolf in the Storm Peaks, and Lokra Nahak in Sholazar.
I remember I killed Gondria as a hunter was trying to tame it. And the hunter was trying to tame Gondria. I killed the hunter, so Gondria would reset, and then I killed Gondria, and I got the item. I was a piece of shit, man.
Basin. Aside from an ethereal appearance, they also had a unique active ability to fire off Spirit Strike, which is quite similar to how Druid's Moonfire works. If you see one out in the wild, I'm sure all the hunters in the area would very much appreciate if you called it out, as all these pets share lengthy respawn timers and multiple spawn locations, making them either moderately or extremely difficult to track down. Now for an item that starts a very memorable and lengthy quest. It was released as a random drop from any of...
I remember I did Pit of Saran with my mother, and the Battered Hilt dropped. She won the fucking roll. She beat me on the fucking roll to it. And she was... I remember she did the entire quest line. The whole fucking thing. and she got this little rinky-dink mace that looks like it was for gnomes, and she was mad about it. And I was like, you just got, because it's a 251 item level weapon. It's like, that's an ICC 10-man item, and you don't even like it. What the fuck? You should have given it to me.
The Ice-Crowned Citadel dungeons, those being Pit of Sauron, Forge of Souls, and the Halls of Reflection. And of course, talking about the Battered Hilt. Very reminiscent of the Quell Sirah questline from a vanilla WoW, if you remember that, where initially you found a book as a random drop within Diamol that led you to reforging the blade in Onyxia's Breath and rewarded you a pretty solid tanking weapon.
I actually had this, didn't I? I used this, didn't I? I'm like 90% sure that I did in Classic WoW.
Particular item follows somewhat of a similar journey where you undergo learning about the weapon, reforging the blade through Ice-Crown dungeons, and eventually taking it all the way to the Sunwell to purify it. The questline even has a different ending between Blood Elves and other races due to the blade's heritage and originally being a weapon of legend among the elves. At the end of the quest, you're able to choose from a number of different rewards that suit any class or playstyle. Whilst the reward can often be rather quickly replaced in Ice-Crown Citadel in terms of item level, it's still worth trying to get hold of a Battered Hilt so that you can experience the questline firsthand.
It's a great item for people that don't raid.
You cannot go through Wrath and not manage to have collected at least a few of. Titles, titles, titles. There's Realm First that we already went over here. There's titles for holiday events. And with the raiding being either 10 or 25 man now, you better believe there's titles for each difficulty as well. Some of these titles though are a little more prestigious than others. If you complete Naxxramas 25 man with 0 deaths throughout the entire raid, well, congratulations, you are now known as the Immortal. There were titles that wanted you to do an encounter in a certain way too, such as Herald of the Titans, which was defeating Algalon the Observer 10-man without anyone in your raid wearing gear that's higher item level than what's available in 10-man Ulduar, and so many more. Each and every activity in the game.
I remember I got Herald of the Titans back in Wrath. I was so fucking happy about it, but I was actually sad at the same time because I got it within a week of the week that I killed Heroic Lich King. So, like, I didn't know which title I had to use to flex on people. Did I want to use Bane of the Fallen King to flex on people or Herald of the Titans? It was a really hard decision for me to make. And it was just like, it was stressful for me for, like, weeks. I didn't know what to do.
Have various rewards tied to it through collection pieces, titles, mounts, companion pets, and so on.
Suffering from success,
for a very long time to list all the ways that Wrath Classic brings iconic and memorable items into the game, but I think that's a good few to jog your memory. Got any other memorable additions that you had back then or want to aim for this time around? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe for more Wrath Classic content, and we'll see you in Azeroth very soon.
Alright, that was a good video. Yeah, that pretty much went through about what I would expect. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, just came in. Did you watch the remastered Wrath cinematic? I'll watch that after this, okay? I'll link this video for you guys. This is a WillE video that's on the official WoW channel. WillE makes great videos. We've watched them many, many times. And so, yeah, he's been doing a lot of those, man. Insane in the Membrane. That is for getting... So you have to get, like, a lot of different... you have to get a lot of reputations that are, like, really weird. And so, like, the Shendalar, you have to get exalted with all of the Bloodsail, or not, sorry, you have to get honored, I think, with the Bloodsail Buccaneers or Friendly, I forgot which one, in order for the Bloodsail Buccaneers, and then you have to get exalted with all of the Goblins after that, and then, let's see, besides that, you need Shendalar. Fuck, I'm trying to remember what the other reps even are. Oh, Ravenholt rep, and that's like, yeah, picking the lock boxes, Darkmoon Fair, yep, there's another one. Yeah, that was, it was the Shendalar one was probably the most annoying, and it got taken out of the game. There's no audio cues, it doesn't post in guild as well, I have no idea. Yeah, Leroy title, there you go. So this is about the Drakkari trolls that are in, also in Wrath. Here we go.
In World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic, one of the enemies that sticks out from the rest are the Drakkari trolls, located within the zone of Zul'Drak. These frost trolls have an extensive and tragic history that spans over thousands of years, and you'll be surprised how powerful they once were compared to how desperate and evil they have become. So let me explain the lore.
All troll lore is basically an L. The fact that trolls exist is an L. The fact that trolls have basically progressively gotten more and more stupid over the years. Like, trolls are the biggest loser race of all of WoW. Like, I'm not kidding you. Look it up. It is the most pathetic shit. Yeah, they're actually dumb as fuck.
I'm PlatinumWoW, and here is my interpretation of the ancient history of the Drakkari trolls, their rise to power, and their inevitable downfall, and how you, the players, helped cause it.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
16,000 years ago.
It's a long time ago.
All of the troll tribes were once the strongest civilization in all of ancient Kalimdor.
Yep.
They united in a war against the old god minions called the Aekir. This battle was called the Aekir and Troll War. Yeah, very creative, huh? Anyways, the Gurubah...
I love how Blizzard was just like, yeah, so we're going to pay you to make a video. Send it over to us. And he just puts this in there like, yep, seems good to me. Yeah, the name was kind of fucking boring, let's be honest. Yep, that's fine.
Amani, and Drakkari tribes united under the command of
their main channel,
tribe, and formed the Empire of Zul. Together, these trolls fought side by side and easily pushed back the old god threat.
That's a big boy, holy shit.
Although this battle was won and the Aekir were pushed out of Zandalar, the war was not over. The three tribes were sent out by the Zandalari to fight the retreating Aekir that spread across the different corners of Azeroth. If the tribes were to be victorious, the Zandalari promised that they could permanently settle in these new locations. And the Drakkari trolls were the ones that lost the coin flip and had to travel all the way up north to the frozen wasteland.
No wonder they're fucking mad. Yeah, no wonder that guy sold his soul to the Lich King. He said, fuck that. Huh. Don't want to deal with that at all.
In the tundra, the Drakkari battled against the remaining Aekir. A surprising new enemy they had to face were the corrupted Tol'vir called Obsidian Destroyers.
Oh, yeah.
Humongous titan creations made of solid stone. These would be a fatal threat
Those
to
were in
many.
Ny'alotha.
The Drakkari had cut their teeth on countless battles before, and the Obsidian Destroyers would be no match for their ingenious tactics.
He'd be dying time now.
What?
Okay,
oh, they got him.
Here and the Obsidian Destroyers defeated, the Drakkari and all the other troll tribes flourished across Kalimdor. Over the next 15,000 years, the Frost Trolls built their kingdom of Zuldrak and even pushed into the lands of Grizzly Hills to the south. Within their new sprawling kingdom, the Drakkari heavily worshipped a variety of different animal gods called the Loa, like all troll cultures. All across their empire, there were shrines dedicated to each one of these mythical beasts that would grant them power.
I always felt like the Loa were like... They're like the budget gods. You know, they're not like really gods or anything like that. They're just like, you know, it's like a really big snake. Or like, okay, it's a really big, you know, like cleft hoof. All right, cool. Yeah, they're not really gods. Yeah.
Everyone praised and given
gods at home,
offerings.
exactly.
The Frost Trolls settled as a powerful force in Northrend for most of the continent's history, until... yeah, you know what.
Yeah, we got the ass. Well, and the Lich King too, that's fair.
The Lich King had stirred from his hibernation, and all of a sudden, an unrelenting wave of Scourge at his disposal hit the Drakkari fast and hard.
Another L for the trolls.
Each troll death would only add another soldier to the Scourge's ranks. And seriously, there needs to be a blue post on the forums talking about nerfing Death Knights, because this is just ridiculous. In fact,
it is crazy how much more powerful Death Knights are than literally any other class. Like, in the lore, whenever you really think about it, like, they literally can't die. Like, they can cast magic. Like, they're just fucking overpowered as shit.
fact, the entire Scourge is ridiculous. Like, how can the Drakkari even compete? They have unending waves of soldiers, one of the biggest
lost.
NPCs in all of Wrath of the Lich King, who is stitched together with the flesh of storm giants and floating necropolises
that was pretty badass.
that are literally flying fortresses of death and destruction. One of the first major defeats for the Drakkari was Drakkari Keep. Outside of the keep,
I did that one.
There's a constant flow of fleeing trolls.
That was one of my favorite
and inside,
dungeons to do.
There's an all-out slaughter, and each slain troll is raised into undeath by invading necromancers. As players progress through the dungeon, they'll fight the third boss, called necromancers.
Oh, he's using that shitty weapon.
As players progress through the dungeon, they'll fight the third boss, called...
That weapon is called Trollbane. It's actually a drop off of the first boss in Drakkari Keep normal mode. Fun fact. Did you guys have fun with that fact? Yes? Okay, good.
King Dread in the courtyard, who has an interesting backstory.
It's Trollbane. Oh yeah, the boss is like Trollbane or some fucking shit. I don't remember exactly.
This hulking Devilosaur was found by a troll hunting party.
Oh, that's
and
the
seemed
third
to be
boss.
thriving off of the Scourge Plague.
Yeah.
Perhaps this beast could hold the antidote to the curse. So the Drakkari captured him, but before they can make any sort of alchemical breakthrough, yeah, we murder him.
Yeah, got the ass.
The Staff of the Great Reptile and the Stable Master's Breeches are some of my best items. So
those are good items.
No hard feelings, right? When players travel further up the keep, they'll find the last remaining living Drakkari desperately trying to fight back the Scourge. And the final boss is a troll who has been transformed by the powers of
This is the easiest
WillE,
boss in the game.
and then raised into undeath.
Yep. The Prophet Thalandra, whatever the fuck.
I think it's safe to say, yeah, no, Drakkari Keep is a lost cause. But
Trolls are a lost cause. Trolls are losers. They've only lost in the lore. There's never been, I think, a singular moment of a troll W. I think that there have just been lowercase L's and trolls take them as a W. Like, that's it.
nearby the sacked keep...
Yeah, Zul'jin died to trash mobs. I mean, really? What do you want me to say? It's just pathetic.
...is the Argent Stand. Now, this is where the champions of the Argent Crusade are fighting the same enemies as the Drakkari. Although, it's never explicitly stated, I'm sure if given the chance, the Argent Crusade probably would have helped the trolls.
What?
I bet they'd be all like, look guys, we are the Argent Crusade.
No.
An order of peace who accept Horde, Alliance, and even gnomes into our ranks, and only want to defeat evil... By the light, that was so uncalled for.
Yeah, go kill them.
But the Drakkari trolls are just so prideful and so stubborn, they attack everyone and everything on sight.
I told you they're
hesitation.
stupid, guys.
I mean, I kind of would be too. Just think about it for a second. You are an empire of trolls who once defeated the biggest threats on Azeroth and created an entire civilization that thrived for thousands of years in the harshest conditions. Only to be suddenly defeated by a bunch of brain-dead zombies that came out of nowhere.
That's how dumb they are.
The Drakkari are so aggressive and so unhinged that they have even started attacking other trolls who they once called their allies. The Zandalari trolls have established a small little outpost called Zim Torga, which is constantly being assaulted by Drakkari.
There's a quest!
But let's be clear, the Zandalari are not here to help them. Oh, no, no, no. They're doomed. They're just here to recover some Drakkari artifacts and preserve history.
Smart.
The Frost Trolls destroy it all in their insane lust for power. You see, all across the zone of Zul'Drak, the shrines dedicated to the Loa gods have been left in ruin, defiled by either the Scourge or the Drakkari, who have sapped their strength for their own selfish survival.
That was scary.
The city of Gundrak.
That was fucking scary, guys. If I go offline, you have to let me know. All right?
The heart of their betrayal against the gods they once worshipped. Deep within the city, we can see the empowered Drakkari who have found new, overwhelming strength from sacrificing their gods and harvesting their power for their own nefarious needs.
So they're literally farming their own gods. Like that's what they do. Yeah, not Hornboy. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole quest about him. He's getting his ass kicked. Another L killing their own gods. Look at this.
Some of the gods the Drakkari have slain or enslaved include the likes of snake, bear, serpent, leopard, alpaca, chicken, and they did try to sacrifice the mammoth god, but he willingly blew himself up instead of being sacrificed.
Smart.
If you venture to the altar of Mamtoth, you can find the giant crater where he blew himself up.
Holy
like
shit, I didn't even know
their
that.
Capital city of Gundrak is the heart of the Loa god's
I never read the
sacrifice.
quest.
Players will need to travel into the dungeon and slay these power-hungry trolls who have gone off the deep end of insanity and try not to get impaled on a rhino's horn in the process. Overall, Zuldrak does an amazing job at illustrating the unfortunate collapse of one of Azeroth's strongest empires and the destruction the Lich King and his Scourge army can bring, even to a powerful empire like the Drakkari Trolls. If we don't stop the Lich King, all of the zones will look like Zuldrak. Rotten, depressing, and hopeless.
Well, we got Shadowlands, so that's pretty much what happened. So, yes, I think that there should have been... You know what they should do? Is whenever the Lich King comes out, Blizzard should pull a fast one on us. And at the very end, where the Lich King kills everybody with Fury of Frostmourne, that's the end of the fight. That's it. Tyrion doesn't come out of the ice block. He dies. And then, you know what, guys? New fucking story. Yep, Lich King takes over. Everybody's dying. We have to go back to Stormwind. It's awful. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, send you to the Shadowlands. Yeah, you get Shadowlands early. Like, imagine that. Like, he just kills everybody. He sacrifices everyone's fucking souls. And then, like, the beginning of the next expansion is, like, breaking free from the Lich King's control and, like, getting your body back and, you know, becoming a person again. Wrath of the Multiverse, that'd be fucking badass. And just, like, it ends and it just plays a cinematic where all the players fucking die. The Lich King takes over Northrend and he's starting to, like, send the, you know, like, the undead legions underwater, just literally marching at the bottom of the ocean towards, like, the Eastern Kingdoms. And, like, that's what the new expansion is. That'd be fucking insane, man. Can you imagine that? Holy fuck, that'd be badass. Wow.
But that's not the case.
It's probably not going to happen.
Yet. And there are tons of other places to explore, enemies to defeat, and loot to obtain in Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Damn, that was a good video. I like that. Holy shit. You have to wear a super powerful necklace that frees you from his will. You have to feed it a resource that gives you a bunch of skills and passives. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, and you have to keep it, like, empower it every week. So that way it doesn't get too weak for you. Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. It's the exact process that writers use to write the expansions. They always turn out half-baked. Well, like, I would love if they just did something absolutely crazy like that. The Lich King fucking does Fury of Frostmourne, kills everybody, and that's it. Fucking fade to black, cinematic, Lich King wins. And that's over. Holy shit, that would be so cool. They also did one for the Vrykul. I'm going to watch the Vrykul. This is the one that I watched a minute ago.
In World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic, you'll face dozens of different dangerous, strange, and horrific monsters on your journey through Northrend. One of the first is the barbaric Vrykul, who have an extensive history and a wide variety of lore you'll need to know about. So let me explain the lore.
I kind of always expected that they were going to add one of the Vrykul races into the game, like some version of it. I'm surprised they didn't.
WoW, and here's my interpretation of all of the Vrykul factions, their relationship with the Lich King, and how us humans evolved from their tale. It all starts in the very early history of Azeroth 15,000 years ago. The Titan Keepers of the world had imprisoned all of the old gods and were shaping the world as they saw fit. To help in this process, they created new Titan Forged, a wide variety of—
Oh shit. So Titan forging was a problem 15,000 years ago even. Holy shit, I had no idea. I didn't know all those races. That's actually a really cool dynamic. This is badass.
sentient creatures of stone and metal were basically their servants. The Vrykul were one of these servants, but
it's a curse of
the old
flesh.
god Yogg-Saron, imprisoned within Ulduar, did some sneaky little mind manipulation on one of the keepers, who accidentally spread an affliction called the Curse of Flesh to make the Titan Forged easily corruptible. The Vrykul's once hardened metallic form slowly became brittle, weak, and fleshy. All of the Titan Forged were now currently going through an existential crisis as the curse spread amongst them.
Damn.
They tried desperately to find some sort of natural cure to their ailment. Maybe, rub some frost lotus on it? No. Shovel tusk meat? No.
What did they do?
Rub a penguin on it? I don't know. No, it's useless.
It didn't work. Maybe we should do
early history out of the way, let's get into some of the Vrykul sub-factions. Centuries passed, and the cursed Vrykul had run out of options. Priests and priestesses decided to reach into the depths of the spirit world, where maybe they could find an answer to their ailment. But instead, they kind of damned themselves to eternal torment.
That sucks. Wait, what?
Kind of you to deliver your souls to me.
Wait, where the fuck did she come from? Holy shit, is this real? Oh yeah! Oh my god, I forgot to put 2 on top of 2 here. Holy shit, I forgot all about this.
It will save my Valkyr the trouble of fetching them from the surface world. Come, mortals. You have earned an eternity of torment.
Instead, they had called forth Helya, the Sea Witch and the Mother of the Underworld.
That's a fucking mistake.
She further corrupted these Vrykul and transformed them into the Kovaldir. These cursed sailors are fearsome Vrykul spirits, who you'll find all across the coastlines of Northrend, and roam the seas in a dense fog, and drag—
Holy shit, yeah, that's the little quest line that you get, remember, on like the western side of Borean Tundra? You've got those guys, and you fly over, and then there's that big thing on the bottom, you have to kill it? Oh my god.
Down all who they come across into the depths of Helheim. But thankfully not all Vrykul accidentally damn themselves to eternal torment.
Accidentally.
Some—
That's a really good shot.
To their new fleshy bodies
that looks really
to
cool.
The best of their ability. Like the Dragonflayer clan, who learned to master the art
we kill
of
them
taming
too.
proto-dragons. The Dragonflayers use their newfound companions
to kill
drive
bears.
out their mortal enemy called the Jalgar, a race of humanoid bear people.
Fuck them.
The Jalgar fled from the northern reaches of Kalimdor all the way down to the center of the continent, and these bear people would later turn into the Furbolgs we know today.
Wow.
Anyways, back to the Vrykul.
I didn't know that
They
either.
celebrated their victory over the Jalgar, but soon after, an even more disruptive threat would plague them from within.
What's that?
Hi.
Somehow, the Curse of Flesh had developed even further, and all of a sudden, they started giving birth to malformed, tiny babies. The Vrykul were incredibly confused and deeply divided on what to do with their weird new children. It was
Oh, fuck.
either accept them into their society and have them be, I don't know, proto-dragon caretakers?
A duck walked into an apothecary and he said, Give me some chapstick and put it on my bed.
Or they could just kill them all and maintain the Vrykul bloodline of being giant ripped barbarians.
That's a good one.
King Yimmeron, leader of the Dragonflayer clan, chose the latter option. He believed that the curse of flesh and their weird babies were because the Keepers had abandoned them to this curse.
We kill this guy. He drops the sword.
That wasn't true, but, you know, the Vrykul really didn't know any better. By the king's orders...
King Yimmeron is an asshole. But he does have a really cool helmet that they kind of put it in the game in BFA, but it's not as cool.
All worship of the Titans would be outlawed, and the
they put that helmet in the game.
Were ordered to be executed. Obviously, not all the Vrykul were willing to kill their own flesh and blood, even if they looked... weird.
Okay.
Instead, a select few Vrykul took their children far, far away to a land only known in legend, called Tyr's Fall, which you probably know as the zone Tyr's Fall Glades. The Vrykul living there would raise their young in peace, and these runts would later evolve into the humans we know today.
Wow.
Back in Northern Kalimdor, even if they killed all the weird-looking babies, they were still making weird-looking babies.
How does a Tauren hide in a cherry tree? He paints his hooves red.
So, in an effort to halt the curse of flesh, King Yimmeron and the rest of the Vrykul went into a deep hibernation. Not even the sundering of the world woke them up from their slumber, and they'd remain that way all the way until just before Wrath of the Lich King.
That's convenient.
15,000 years later.
Very
convenient.
Going
into hibernation did not help at all with their curse of flesh problems, and now there was roaming bands of undead monstrosities wandering all across Northrend. The Vrykul believed that the Lich King was the god of death and pledged themselves to him. It was either that or get eaten by ghouls. So,
makes sense.
They didn't really have an option.
Yeah,
King
makes
Yimmeron
sense. Sure.
And the rest of the Dragonflayers returned to their fortress called Utgard Keep and relentlessly fight against the Alliance.
This was supposed to be a raid, gentlemen.
And Horde as allies of the Scourge. Now, you'll mainly find the Dragonflayers in the zone Howling Fjord, but there's a variety of other Vrykul clans all across Northrend, like the ones in the snowy peaks of Storm Peaks.
Oh, yeah.
Here in Brunhildar Village, there is a small faction of Frost Vrykul who are loyal to the Titan Keeper Thorim, who resides
in the mountains.
This matriarchal society of Vrykul are called the Heilnir, who are a ferocious band of warriors. They have an event called Heidel's Meet, where they compete against each other in brutal hand-to-hand combat.
You get a disguise that you can use to do the quest for them, and after you do the quest, they give you a special box. Guess what's in the special box? That's right, that mount right there. You get the white polar bear.
Mounted bear brawls.
Totally normal things.
Skirmishes on the backs of proto-drakes.
Totally normal.
Oh, and punting penguin competitions. Okay, that last one isn't true, but the winner gets the rule by Thorim himself.
In the mountains.
These are the only Vrykul in all of Northrend who aren't working with the Lich King, or ghostly seafaring pirates. But they still aren't the most pleasant bunch of barbarians.
Yeah, they're still assholes,
though.
They
do kidnap and enslave any and all males and force them to work to death in their mines.
Well, this is bullshit. This is some fucking bullshit. This sucks. Yeah, where's Andrew Tate? We need to we need to break free. This is ridiculous.
But lesser of two evils, I guess, right?
Double standards, yeah.
The mortal enemies of the Heilnir are a small group called the Valkyron. Now, the Valkyron is another group of female Frost Vrykul who pledge their loyalty to the Lich King.
Oh, well,
and work
that's not
tirelessly to create blighted proto-drakes in their breeding pools. They seek...
I still can't get over the fact that they actually made an updated model of the plagued proto-drake and they put armor on it for BFA, and they didn't put it in the game. Like, they could have put it in the game, but they didn't put it in the game. Can you believe that?
Prove their worth to the Scourge.
Ridiculous.
So that one day they could be transformed into Valkyr.
Valkyr, your master calls.
Now there's one last group of Vrykul located in Icecrown, who are easily my favorite ones in all of Northrend. The Myrdin and the Jotunheim clans have willingly submitted themselves to be enhanced by the Lich King. In order to be granted with such strength...
Oh, bro, like, this was the coolest fucking thing, man. Is you would fight their chieftain or whatever at the very top of this mountain here. And you had to blow a horn and you would fucking fight him. It was so cool.
Living warriors travel to Jotunheim and fight in epic one-on-one battles with their fellow Vrykul.
No mercy.
The victors of the battle are empowered with the strength of the Lich King as scourge weapons of warfare. And the losers are corrupted into sickly undead drones called the Vrykul.
Damn.
Who cares about these losers?
Yeah.
The victors then travel to
This is a winner stream.
a significant place in Vrykul culture, and these champions become an elite cast of warriors called the Ymirjar, who are one of the most dangerous forces at the Lich King's disposal. And I said one of, because the wide variety of dragon riding, seafaring, and scourge worshipping Vrykul are just a small handful of enemies you'll be facing in Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Let me link it for you guys. That was good, yeah. I knew like about a lot of that stuff. Yeah, a cow. Let's see. Is there a cow that we fight in Wrath of the Lich King? Oh, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's not. Yeah, I'm trying to, yeah, there's Bessie as a cat. No, there is no cow level or anything like that. Okay, let's see here. And we're gonna watch the new, one, okay? The new cinematic.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas.
Oh shit. Damn, this does look good. Wow. This is what the Warcraft movie should have been. Damn. Look at that armor. I never noticed that. Looks good, man. They remade the cinematic? Yeah, they did.
I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom.
It was so good,
strength.
man. It was so fucking good.
And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
Damn, the sword looks badass too. I don't know what the dragon's gonna look like. So clean? Yeah, it was. That looks way fucking better. Holy shit. Wow.
But the truest victory,
That is so cool.
is stirring the hearts of your people.
Holy shit. so fucking good.
For when my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, dude, that was fucking badass. That was really, really good. Yeah, I think the remaster of it is amazing. Like, I was like, I'll be honest, before I saw it, I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, maybe it won't look good, or maybe it'll be like kind of like scuffed or something like that. God damn, that was good.